Okay, welcome everyone. Looks like we got a good group coming in. Appreciate you being here today. We're going to be going over some new research and information, have some new announcements for you, some exciting things that are happening. And there we go, chat's working now. So again, use the chat. Becky's in here, Wyatt's in here, others to monitor it. And so we'll be able to keep an eye on that for you. Hopefully we'll have some time here before the 30-minute mark to open up for a lot of questions and answers, because I'm going to go ahead and get started right now. We have some great information to go over. And so the new format for the webinars, I just want to go over that with you. And thanks for being with us, by the way. It's an honor to have you. We have a lot of things happening today that I'll share with you that we're real excited about. And as you participate, for now, in the next 29 minutes, we're going to be going over and talking about, from the health professional standpoint, the importance of the subject, the March focus that we've been talking about, sending emails out to all the patients, to you working with on the 2020 calls. Hopefully you all are doing your 2020 calls with the reps where they get explained to you some of the latest research, give you some special things that you don't get otherwise. But as we are focusing this month on energy and everything that goes along with it, we're really coming to a great understanding that doctors want to know the information that's most relatable to the patient. They want to see how others talk to patients and how we spread information to be able to teach them about optimal health. So these next 28 minutes, we're going to go through from your side of things, what's going on, some of the information, more of the clinical side of it. And then at 30 minutes at 4:30 Arizona time, I keep wanting to say, but I know it's different for you all. In 30 minutes, we're going to give you a link to click over to be able to listen to what your patients are taught. And I'm going to be teaching them like you would teach them. And we'll be going through a lot more of a slide deck with them, a lot more of the basic research to help them understand the importance of energy. So really excited about doing that. But just so you know the format, that way we're not going through the slide deck twice right here. And then again, we're going to go through some of the slides here, give a chance to talk about things from the clinical perspective, and then go into the presentation with the patient. So please stay on today when we switch over to the other slide deck. Welcome, Texas, Ontario, Arizona, Kansas. Man, thanks for being with us, California. Appreciate you guys. All right, so let's get rolling. Your patients are going to, sing your praises and refer more if you get them more energy. And we know this because almost every single patient in all of the studies that have been done, and asking patients why they're coming to their holistic health professional, the number one thing that's consistent amongst all of them is low energy. Now, they might come in for low back pain, they might come in for neck pain, for some other condition. But along with that, in almost every single case, the request is, I really would like to get more energy. So health professionals, no matter what, whether you're focusing on subluxations and you're doing low back, you're doing neck, you're an acupuncturist, you're a surgeon, it doesn't matter what your specialty is. You must realize that patients are coming to you, people are coming to you to be able to help them with their energy. And this is a huge epidemic. Over 70% of people feel fatigued at work on the daily. 97% of fatigued people have reduced cognitive performance. They're not being able to think clear. They're not going to be able to react at work. They're not be able to be present with their spouses, with their families, be able to have that entrepreneurial mindset to be able to make a difference in the world. And those who are fatigued lose about 5.6 hours of productive time every week. And that being nice, I've seen studies showing that the average person in the clinic working really on an 8-hour day is productive for half that time in just one day. And so we know that with your patients and with your staff and with yourself, if we can help with true energy levels, then we're going to be able to improve performance, improve life, improve just enjoying life at a much higher level. So there is a difference between trying a healthier habit and committing to a lifestyle. Now, most people have tried everything. They've tried diets, they've tried these products, they've tried all this stuff, more caffeine, less caffeine, and they've tried different things when it comes to energy, but very few have committed. Most people try everything but committed to nothing. And it's important to understand that it comes down to creating a presence, deciding who you are, and for you to help your patients decide who they are, their identity. I'm a person with high energy without the use of stimulants. Is that what your patients say? Well, they should, and that's what you should say. I'm a person of high energy, vibrance, vitality, with a healthy, strong mindset without stimulants. And so that's something really important to understand, is there's a slippery slope when it comes to stimulants. There are foods that help with energy we're going to talk about. We're going to go into detail on the exact foods, especially with your patients and the public. There are stimulants that actually are healthier for you that don't cause as much of a depletion of nutrients at the cell level, especially of the nutrients trying to get past the blood-brain barrier into the brain. And then there are things that are actually terrible synthetic caffeines, that they're things that increase energy levels, but do it at a great cost. And this slippery slope is that once you start one thing, a lot of times you'll make your way to the next, where you're just doing the foods, and then you're just doing a little caffeine, a little more coffee, and you're like, oh, well, it's a food. And then you start taking other caffeines, and then you need more help. And believe it or not, the slope after that is people taking things like Adderall and taking these microdosing and then going on to even harder drugs. And you think, well, come on, how can that be true? We're just talking about energy here and caffeine. But the truth is that caffeine itself, you're going to see what a problem is with its structure. Okay. So in the US, more than 90% of adults and teenagers consume this substance. And think you know what we're talking about, which it is caffeine. It's the largest, least regulated, and most understood drug trade in America. Now, when we're talking about this, again, we're going to go into some more detail with the patients in that. But this is something that was really interesting, because a lot of people say, well, I don't focus good unless I'm full of caffeine, unless I have my energy drinks, my Red Bulls, my bangs, and those types of things. What they don't realize is they're not truly focusing. They have energy, but they're not focusing, and they're not able to be present with the right frequency. So this is a spider web in the middle there that is with a spider, just normal, naive, this native environment. And then this is a spider on the right that has been caffeinated. And you can see that it was spinning like crazy. You probably thought it was doing a good job, but really it was all over the place. And the web sizes in the study, they varied in size, length of thread, organization, density, structure. There was all over the place. And that's what happens when we consume too much or the wrong types of caffeine, because caffeine in itself, its structure is really in the meth family. And we must understand that. That's why it's easy to graduate and go down that slippery slope to other things. Now, we do know that 300 to 400 milligrams a day is really the number. And it used to be that we'd say that number. And I remember starting off in the 90s, and it took a lot of work for people to get to 300 to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. They're getting, 30 in their coffee, maybe 50 here and there. And that was really about it. And the sodas that they were drinking contained about that, 30 to 50 milligrams max. Well, now you can go to the store and buy drinks, the Bang drinks, the Monster drinks, these things that come out with 300, some of them even 400 calories right off the bat in one drink. So we're already hitting the threshold of max of what someone should be taking, and that can cause lots of problems. So there are natural forms of energy. In other words, caffeine that's found in foods that are surrounded by something called phytonutrients. When a caffeine molecule is surrounded by phytonutrients and it's methylated, then the nutrients that are needed to have it do its job are present. That's a much healthier form of a energy boost. So whether it is like your green teas, whether it's a Choline, Guarana, your Ramadi, things like that, those are a much better form of caffeine because of the phytonutrients that are in them. And so whole food energy containing herbs, we're going to go over this really in depth with the patients, green teas, ginkgo bilobas, and then also nutrients that boost nitric oxide in the body, because nitric oxide will help with blood flow. Increased blood flow increases blood oxygen. Increasing blood oxygen increases more energy, because in order for energy to happen, you must have an oxygen molecule. And many times it's a lack of oxygen that causes a lack of energy. So anytime we can boost levels of oxygen by increasing circulation, and that's what nitric oxide does, it allows the blood vessels to expand by being able to stimulate the endothelium, right, the blood vessel wall. As it does that, we're able to get more blood flow and better energy. And a lot of people say, hey, I get just enough increased energy by taking something like the BFF chews or something that boosts our nitrate, the NOS performance packs or arugula or beet juice, things like that. And then the other factor is actually NADH. And I think that is something that isn't talked about enough in the levels of energy. This is a miracle cure that you're going to find that your patient's going to love you. If they have, it's really the thing that is easiest to explain. NADH is it is the best thing to take from hangovers. And so you're like, okay, well, all my patients that party a little bit or drink a little bit, this is great for them to take. The day of, the day after is the best recommendations based on the new research. But what about people that don't drink or don't drink all the time? Should they take NADH for energy? Absolutely. If you had a poor night's sleep, NADH can help the next day to get things firing, to help give you the energy through the day. Had a real stressful day, and so you didn't sleep well through the night, or you're going into the morning, you're just not feeling it. NADH is a great thing to do on top of or in place of any of these other nutrients, so the energy containing herbs or the nitric oxide herbs. So don't overlook NADH. The formulas that we're going to talk about after we go through in depth of the nutrition and the other factors for energy with the patients in a little bit is a Be Awake formula. This is what used to be Natural Vitality. Now, this formula is one that I use on the daily. I wake up to this formula. I get up, whether I get up before the alarm goes off, whatever time I wake up, I take Be Awake, and then I'll lay there and do my meditation, and I'll start to feel that little bit of that flush, and then boom, there we go, and get up and get going for the day. So I personally do this formula every single day. So it's something you might want to look at. It increases mental clarity and focus because it is actually increasing circulation, not through nitric oxide, but through niacin and the B vitamins in the body. And we're providing a organic whole food green tea with the energy in it. It enhances mood. It helps the body with a healthy alternative to caffeine, doesn't tax the adrenal glands. And so it's a really powerful formula. I love this formula. It contains only the methylated forms, like all of our formulas, of the vitamins, and then it contains that green tea extract that's in there, Rhodia crenulata, the choline barbiturate. A lot of you know of these things, the DMAE. These are very strong nootropics, but it's with the energy, and so you get that from the formula. Again, a huge fan of that formula. The other one we're going to be talking about with the patients in a few minutes is Optimal BFF because of the nitric oxide. Now you can use this one or you can use the NOS Performance Packs, but we're just going to focus on this today because it'll help restore artery health. It helps to not just stimulate nitric oxide, but it contains the phytonutrients in it from the fruit and veggie formula. And so it's a very powerful formula to be able to provide phytonutrients, not just help increase oxygen levels in the body. And it supports the heart, muscle, and artery health because of the creatine nitrate that's in there. And what's funny is I just watched a couple podcasts and videos of some people that are trying to live a lifestyle to live to be 120, and they're doing everything in their mind 100%, only taking the certain nutrients. They're doing the blood work. They're, half of them are sleeping in these cryo chambers. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I noticed that every single one of them now are taking creatine because of the new research out on how it helps with methylation. And so I thought that was interesting. I'm a huge fan of the creatine, and the creatine nitrate is what's in the BFF. And by the way, the creatine nitrate now has a new ingredient in it, and it's the sodium bicarbonate. And the sodium bicarbonate is the ingredient that helps with the acidity of the formula, and it also helps with the acidity of the gut. So it's great to have in there. A lot of people weren't able to take it before love the formula because we've done that with it. So let's talk for a quick second about NADH, doctors. The nicotinamide adenine, dinucleotide hydrogen And we know that there's a big factor of NAD. I'm a big fan of NAD, but really you can't get it in unless you're injecting it. But if you add the hydrogen on it, this is a great form of a energy molecule that's found. It's ubiquitous, right? It's throughout every living cell in the body, and it's involved in the production of energy. And that's the key. It's involved in the production of energy, and it does it through an electron transfer process in the mitochondria itself. And so it helps to create more adenosine triphosphate, the ATP, the energy, the main source of energy in the body. Now, supplementing with NADH can increase the production of adenosine triphosphate. So NADH helps increase ATP energy. And that was a great study done by Musa in 2016. And it's also been found to improve cognitive function and what? Look at that last couple words, docs, reduce fatigue. So NADH is this sleeper. It is not used very much in the field of just helping people with fatigue and cognitive function, and it's a game changer. If you introduce this to your patients, tell them, look, I want you to take it on the mornings that you had a tough night, hard time getting going, do it with the Be Awake, whatever else you use. And then especially if they've drank or anything like that, it's like life-changing. We have some friends that drink a little more, well, any's more than I recommend, but that drink a little bit and enjoy themselves and on the weekends. And they're like, hey, we will never drink again without NADH. And I'm like, well, how about never drinking again? But anyways, it's a great formula. And I hope doctors, you understand that NADH is an ATP producer and cognitive function and fatigue reliever in the body. Extremely important to understand the power of this formula, okay? So improves not just the mental clarity, but concentration and memory, especially short-term memory, which is really critical. So this is a form that Dr. Harris really made sure that we had everything in with it. The D-ribose is there. If you've been to any of his seminars on methylation, you understand the extreme importance of that too. So docs in the office for immediate energy for your patients, I think it's important that you really understand how to utilize the tools to be able to help your patients in your clinics. And so I want to go to a different screen if I can, and hopefully everyone can see this is a direct script. We on with direct script, gang? Okay. And so doctors, from your phone, you should have direct script. Hopefully you all have that. This is one of the most important tools you can have. And I'm just going to give a shout out right now. Dr. Piquel. Dr. Piquel is getting a check written to him for over $10,000. $10,000. He's getting a check written to him. And I've watched him over the last year go from about nothing all the way up to where he's going to receive a minimum of $10,000 a month from patients that aren't even coming into his clinic anymore, most of them, that he set up on AutoShip using direct script. And now that number is just going to keep increasing. So if he ever does decide to retire or do whatever, he's got an extra right now $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year, and he could sleep. He could just it's being made while he's sleeping. He can go on vacation. He's still getting it. And so shout out to Dr. Piquel. Great job on staying consistent. And all he's done is what we've asked you to do for the last few years. Use your direct script and be able to get your patients on AutoShip so they don't go off buying their vitamins from somewhere else and Costco or someone else after they leave you. And you're the ones that have taught them about it and to take whole food, and you need to make sure they're on the right form. So what do? You go to your direct script on your phone. If you don't have it, call your growth specialist. We have a growth specialist dedicated to you, each one of you individually, that will guide you through this. But you'll go to this and you'll say, okay, I like this idea. I'm going to go in the search really quick. I'm going to type in NADH. It brings it up. The search bar is awesome because it helps speed things up. You should be able to make a prescription for supplements in less than a minute. So I'm going to go to NADH and I'm going to click on one for the patient. And if I want, I can click on the affiliate link here and get the link and put it in an email. So when I send the email, they can click on that link, okay, and go right to it. So I can do that either way. That's how come that's there, that affiliate link. But now I put an NADH. Maybe I want to do BFF and stuff in it too. I'm going to go and either put the patient email in there or their phone number. But what I wanted to show you is what I want to really recommend, help you understand is doctors, let's say with energy, your patient wants energy right now. They don't want to wait a few days to get a shipment. So on the shelf in your clinic, you have NADH, you have BFF, you have Be Awake. You say, okay, patient, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get off of the caffeine drinks and do that, but I'm going to give you something to replace them with that's much healthier. Wake up in the morning, you take your Be Awake. If you're still having some brain fog, had a rough night, mid-morning, you want to take NADH, okay? And I'm going to give that to you right now. You grab the shelf, you hand it to them, okay? You sell it to them in your office. But then you go to Direct Script and say, okay, I'm going to write a script for you, and you go into Direct Script right here, and you click that I want it delivered on the 19th, okay, or whatever it is. So next month. So I'm going to go into Direct Script, push schedule for the future. Do you guys see that? Schedule for the future, and it'll automatically default to about the right time you want them to have it shipped. Because if it's shipped on the 19th, it's going to be about a month from the time you sold it to them today, right? And so they'll go to that, and you put the 19th, you're like, boom, and then you push send. So what does that do? What that does is it doesn't send them the product immediately. What it does is on that date, the 19th, okay, a week before they run out of their Be Awake and their NADH or their adrenal, whatever you send them, or whatever you sell them from your office, they will get a text or an email from you, depending on whether you put text in there or their email. And it will say your doctor has made this prescription for you, and for this vitamin, and you click on it and you order it. And so now they're going to have their next bottle of Be Awake or NADH to them about the time they're going to run out of the one you sold them from the shelf, but it's going to be on auto ship. So now you put them on auto ship. So when I send that Direct Script, I'm going to go to auto ship and have it go every month, or have it go every other month, whatever I want it to do. And patient, you're going to get this script for me about the time you run out, about a week before. I want you to order it, and I'm putting you on auto ship. You can cancel anytime, but you want to be on this every month. You want to be on this as consistently as you've been on the Starbucks coffee, on the Bang drinks, the Monsters, and all that stuff. And this is going to be able to get you off of those things for life and have you have more cognitive function, be more present, not like the spiders that are all crazy, and be able to get more done. So I hope you can see the critical importance of Direct Script and the work that we've done. We've listened to you, and you said, hey, if I sell it to them in my office, I don't want to do a Direct Script, because then they're going to get, twice the product, and they don't need it right now. And they're like paying double. And you're right. So we put this feature in here, schedule for the future. So now you're still in that moment with that patient without having to come back, teaching them, educating them, putting them on Be Awake, putting them on BFF, whatever it is, NADH, giving it to them, getting them out of, fatigue immediately, but scheduling ahead. So now you don't have to worry about it. That patient now is taken care of for life, and they have those caffeine substitutes coming to them, and you're building up that residual. They're being healthier because they're not taking the synthetic caffeine. And then you get up to like Dr. Pickell, where you're receiving the extra 10,000 or more a month. So that is the critical nature of Direct Script and why you should be using Direct Script in your clinic, and how you should use Direct Script. Guys, there's special features in there that we go in and tweak, because those of you that use it a lot have said, hey, it'd be nice to schedule it in the future, or it'd be nice to click the link, really easy to get that link and put it in an email or in a text to them, so they just have to click on it. And remember, when you use Direct Script, docs, it has your code. So it has your code, and so now you're getting that commission for life. And that's really, really important to understand, is that you're getting the benefit from the one that actually taught the patients about whole food nutrients in the first place, as it should be, versus GNC or somewhere else like that. So docs, I hope that helps you a little bit with it. I'm going to go over these last few minutes. Good on time. The seminars coming up. So really look forward to the Nashville seminar, docs. We have a few more spaces. This is the last week to get the great rates there at Nashville. Please, if you've hesitated at all, quit. Come to the product training seminar. Here's my guarantee. You come to the product training seminar, and if you don't feel you've at least doubled what it costs to get there, and I'm talking what you pay to get there, everything else to get there, you come up and say, hey, like a week later, I don't feel like I've I've left there and just doubled my ability to help my patients with the right nutrients and my knowledge of what to recommend and that, then you tell me that, I'll trust your word on it, and I will let you come to the next seminar for free, anywhere we're at in the world. You just tell me, because I'm so confident from the testimonials from our first product and protocols for patient progress seminar that the doctor says it's the greatest seminar they've been to because it was practical. They come in, they learn about herbs, they learn about vitamins, they learn about minerals, they learn about the formulas, they learn about conditions and what to treat with, the nutrition and exercise. And now we've added to it, right? It's like adding the nitrous button to a seminar. Now we're going to be teaching also about peptides there. We're going to teach you about what peptides for which conditions, simplified version, not the real deep version that those of you that came to the seminar heard with Dr. Harris, but enough to be like, okay, this patient needs to lose weight and I've tried everything else. Here's a peptide, knock it out. This patient's, we've tried everything on it, knee pain, back pain, joint, shoulder. Here's something to help with that, the peptide. Here's something to help with anti-aging, growth hormone, whatever it might be. We're going to teach you those protocols and teach you how to get the access to the peptides there. Then the super seminar, how much time do I got? Okay, 4 minutes. With the super seminar, I just got off the phone with another speaker that's coming. I'm so excited. And this guy is phenomenal. I don't know if I can officially say his name yet, but let me tell you a story, and we'll have the contract probably tomorrow. But basically, this guy was a policeman in San Francisco 7 years and chose not to take the vax. And they listed everything, and they said, okay, we got it, religious beliefs, all this, and then fired him anyways, along with hundreds of others. And they had a lot of rampant issues because they couldn't staff things and people getting killed and robberies. And now they come back and say, obviously we were wrong, and it's just this huge mess. And this guy lost his job for years. Now he started his own podcast, went out and has been teaching. It's actually a blessing in his life. But he's going to come, and he's going to come share this story, and you're going to be blown away with the deception and the stuff that's happened throughout. He was in the thick of it, and you can't miss it. He's phenomenal speaker. So along with everything else, super seminar, last one, scope seminar, doctors. This is location to be determined. No longer. Everyone's giving me a hard time. We're doing it here. The first seminar here in Pima, Arizona. You're going to come here. You're going to come to our home. We're going to spend some time besides the scope seminar. We're going to show you what we do here. We're going to go on some razor rides. We're going to go some hiking. For those of you who want to, you don't have to, but you'll want to. And we're going to do the scope training. Dr. Janine Ridgway is going to co-teach it with me. And she's also going to help co-teach these other seminars along with us as advisory board member. But really, it's going to be me and her together really teaching the scope seminar. So if you ever wanted a scope, we'll have some for you. If you already have one, you want to learn how to use it better legally within your practices, that's a good one too. Okay. Last thing, I have 10 seconds. How much time we got? Our podcast, me and Hillary started a podcast called Fit Fam. It's for you guys. It's for your patients. It's for everyone in the world. It's our way to get the message out on fitness, focus, intense thought, nutrition, exercise, supplementation. Recommend all of you to watch it, have your patients watch it. I recommend watching on YouTube so you can see the video side of it. It's also on Spotify and all that. It released on 3:30 at 3:30. So it released today at 3:30. So go to YouTube, scan that, or go to FitFam on YouTube. You'll find us and watch the first one that drops. It's the basic one that drops today, but we go in depth. Next week's on hormones and a shred on TRT. You're going to love that one. And then we go into the mindset and focus the next week. We just shot that one. We do some deep dives, but from a fun way with Hillary. Those of you who don't know Hillary, she'll bring, the realness to it and the practical application. And we have an interesting way of communicating. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. But FitFam podcast launched today. Tell us what you think. Please go to it. Send your patients. It'll just educate them more on what they should be doing. Docs, appreciate you. Love you guys. Thank you. Saying you're so excited about the podcast. Please let us know your thoughts on it. Be real with us. And in the chat right now, the webinar chat is a link. What I want you to do is click on that link, please. There's so much information we didn't go over here on energy, the research studies I want to share with the public webinar. Click on that link. It'll go to the seminar that I'm going to switch over to right now. and we'll get going. Appreciate you guys so much. Well, I didn't have a lot of time for questions and answers, but we'll try to open it up there for some, and look forward to seeing you in just a minute.